Hey, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the Sony ZV-E1 and wanted to compare it sort of to the Sony ZV E1. And these cameras are quite different, both in price, performance, but also they have some similarities and I wanted to talk about them. But I also wanted to try something really cool, and that's why I did this video using the Insta360 Ace Pro. That's right, I'm recording this with an action camera indoors, so you can obviously tell that the image quality is not as good as it usually is on this channel. But consider this is this is an action camera, and I'm recording this video using an action camera. Not only that, I've got it connected to the Rode Wireless Go, which is my standard microphone for these videos. And I'm recording this in 4K, but it's zoomed in, so it's cropped in. It's the middle of the 8K sensor, so I think that's pretty cool. Okay, back to business. Let's talk about these cameras. Now, I want to be completely honest. When I started out this channel, I was talking a lot of good stuff about the Sony ZV-E1, and it has a lot of cool features, and I made tons of videos about this, talking about the highlights of it. The thing is that I'm not using it as much as I should. And there's a couple of things that makes me not want to use this thing. For the first big one, that's the reason why I don't use it, is that the wide angle lens on this is just not wide enough. You know, I need to have a selfie stick. And the second problem is the image stabilization is just not good. But if I was to record this video using this camera, the image quality would actually be a lot better than the Ace Pro, because there's something about Sony cameras. They're just really good, very easy to color grade, and the image quality is just very pleasing, even in these sort of low light situations. Now, the battery life is also not very good on this camera, and it's such a shame because this one ticks so many boxes to me. But I have to be honest, I have not been using this camera a lot, and it's so sad to say, because I like the image quality. I love the fact that it has a zoom lens, built-in ND filters, and slow motion capabilities that most full-frame cameras don't even have. It's got a lot of fantastic things, and it's compact, like you can really fit this in your pocket. But I sort of feel like this was an experiment, it was the first of its kind, and then it had a couple of sequels, and I've looked at those sequels, and yes, they made it wider, and that's great, Sony, that's really great, but you messed up everything else. Like, you know, you removed a lot of good features from this camera, and I just think that the things that you removed made those newer cameras worse in a way. And so I just think it's sad. Like, for example, this one has optical image stabilization, where the newer versions, they have digital image stabilization. They do not have ND filters. They do not have the super slow motion features, and it's just sad. And also, I don't really think that they are as wide as I want them. They're a lot wider than this one, but it's just not wide enough, to be completely honest. And so that's why I don't use this one. Now, this is my workhorse. This is the one doing all the heavy lifting, and I'm using this camera a lot on this channel. But how should I put this? So I've praised this camera a lot. Like, it's my go-to camera. I record all of my YouTube videos using this thing, and I've done some amazing slow motion shots of my dog, you know, and I really enjoy using this camera. But damn it, it keeps overheating every once in a while. So here's the thing about me. When you're a serial YouTuber like myself, I like to sit down and make a ton of videos, you know, just batch record them one after another. I have several channels and I do this all the time. I never sit down just to record one video. I always record several videos. But when you do that with this camera, it overheats. You know, not all the time, but it does overheat. And that's just so annoying to me, that a camera that cost me like $3,000, that it overheats. It just should not. Now, if I was to use something like the Sony A7S III, I would not have that issue, but then I would not have some of the cool AI features, the face detect and stuff like that. There's certain features on this thing that the older cameras don't have, so I can't use that one. And I would have to invest in a much more expensive, maybe like something like the A7R5, but that is a lot of money. And so it's just so annoying that this camera it just checks so many boxes for me. But the overheating, it's what makes me not want to use it as much. Now, because this camera is so expensive and because it's my main camera to record these videos, I don't use it as much outside. And it's not just the risk of losing it, but it's also the fact that, you know, I could drop it, I could get mugged, but also it's very heavy. And, you know, you can't put this in your pocket. You can put it in a backpack, but then you have to sort of think about, you know, lenses. Which lens should I get? Should I use the zoom lens? Should I use a prime lens? And all of that is a lot of fun. I admit it, I'm a camera geek. And at home, that's totally fine. But outside, it's just not very useful. So with this camera, it is tiny, it is compact, and I could imagine using nothing but this at home. And if I have to go outside and film, I could use it. Like I mentioned before, the only issue with this camera is really that it's not wide enough and the image stabilization is just sucky at best. And this camera, interesting enough, even though it doesn't look very compact, it is actually a very compact full-frame camera, but if you put a big lens on it, doesn't feel very compact. This one has amazing image quality and amazing image stabilization. So when you're using this to record outside, you get very nice results. But I've sort of gone a different path this last 6 months or so, because I just feel like now I'm more interested in cameras like I'm recording now, like the Ace Pro or Osmo Action 4, the Go 3, or even GoPro cameras, even though they are so flawed currently. It's just more interesting to me that you can use something very small that fits in your pocket and is fun to use. This is a professional camera, yes, but it's too big. And the idea of walking around like this, it's just ridiculous. So it's not perfect. And of course, I've said this before so many times, there are no perfect cameras out there, and there never will be. You know, Casey from Camera Conspiracies, he keeps chasing the perfect camera, but he's never going to find it because cameras are good for different things. That's just the nature of things. And it's really up to each and every one of us what we want from a camera, what we need and desire. And you just have to accept that there is no camera that can do everything, but there probably is a camera out there that does everything that you need it to do. So the question is, what is your go-to camera? Currently, if I had to pick just one camera of the bunch, it would be the Ace Pro. That's how much I like it right now. Okay, that's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed this short little video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.